Rockinitis. Hi, cats and kittens. Welcome to Rockinitis. My name is Michael Wilmore. I just wanted to get one thing, little thing out of the way here. I had dinner the other night at Han's Wonton in Chinatown in Vancouver, and I left my jacket with this camera on the chair beside me when I went home. So when I got home, I discovered I didn't have my jacket, I didn't have the camera. I went back the next day at 12 noon and asked them about it. They returned the jacket to me with the camera still in the pocket, and that's why I love Vancouver. This show is on Petroleum byproduct, and the group is sitting here with me. They just did a great intro of performing live, a song called Convenient and Cheap. And how long has the group been together? What is happening with the group?
We've been together for about, like 3 years and 2 different lineup changes, or 3 different lineup changes.
And so this is the solidified lineup though, right?
Yes.
This is the final.
Yeah,
Well, the final cut.
Final cut.
Yeah, I guess so for now.
Now, not everyone can get on Rockinitis. Not everyone who is in a group can get on this show. It has to be a group that I actually personally really like. And I gotta say, I saw you guys at Neptune Records performing live, and I was really impressed.
Well, thank you.
You've got a 1980s new wave sound. Everybody that's heard you, that I've played for them, they've said, well, they kind of sound like the B-52s.
Yeah, I guess. Well, our old, because we had quite a different sound before, and we like to, record a phase and then pretty much trash that sound and then reinvent ourselves and make something completely different. So I think that record has some sort of B-52s influence for sure, I think.
Yeah, now, it's funny because when I talked to you about this before, I didn't get the impression that you were all that familiar with the B-52.
What? Of course I'm familiar with the B-52s.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what groups have influenced you, contributed to your sound?
That sound or our sound now?
The sound now.
Well, guys.
This is your extended play. Now, the funny thing is that most of the Vancouver groups that do independent releases, most of them come out as extended plays. Nobody seems to do 45s anymore. They seem to do extended plays. And this is almost an album because there's like 4 songs on each side. Mm-hmm. And as you can see, my copy is actually autographed. And I got it autographed and I bought it at the time that you did the gig at Neptune Records. I've seen the group twice. The other time that I saw them was at the Pointed Sticks show. Where was that venue at?
A Ukrainian Hall.
Ukrainian Hall. Yeah, it was sort of just off Chinatown there. And you got like the smallest lettering on the poster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you might have to get your magnifying glass.
Or your binoculars.
Anyway, that.
Oh, wait, you don't have them.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
And I talked to you at the time, and I remember saying, "Are you going on this Japanese tour?" Because this was the precursor
Yes.
to the Japanese tour, which the Pointed Sticks and the Dish Rags were going on.
Yeah.
So I remember coming up to you afterwards. Are you going on this Japanese tour? And you said, no.
Well, we weren't. We weren't invited.
Anyway, we were standing outside on the steps, my friend Ed and I.
Yeah.
And you guys did a sound check inside.
Yes.
So the door was closed. We were out on the steps. And he goes, my friend Ed says, "Who's that? That sounds really good."
Oh, whoa.
So I said, well, that sounds like Petroleum byproduct. They're the warm-up act. Oh, he says, if the rest of the acts are half as good as the warm-up act,
Whoa.
this will be a great show.
And was it good for him?
It was very good.
Okay.
Now you complained at the time, I remember, you complained that to me personally,
That the synth
that
wasn't
your
working.
keyboards weren't operating or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, it was like going through a bipolar phase where it would work sometimes and then not work, and it would just sometimes during the set it would just turn off, or it would start playing some recorded sequence on there or something.
But you got it fixed.
Yes, we got it fixed.
Okay, because it sounded good tonight or
Yeah.
today.
Well, that's
So
the difference.
anyway, this was a great show, and I've got to say, even though you were the minuscule lettered group on the show, I got to say you were my favorite group on the entire show.
Well, thank you.
And as I say, this guy came up to me and he says, at the Cobalt, when I was there the other night, he comes up to me and says, "What does it take to get on your show?" So I said, "Well, you got to really suck up, for one thing."
Yes.
So he says, "What are you drinking?" So I said, "Beer." He says, "I'll buy you a beer." So he buys me a beer.
Yeah.
Then he goes up, performs with his group. I thought they sucked.
Oh.
So he doesn't get on the show.
Oh. He's gonna watch the show and
Anyway,
realize
you-
why I didn't call him back.
Anyway, you guys have never bought me a beer, but I love you and you're on the show, right?
wow.
So the show is like a reflection of my taste,
Well,
and I think you're just great. And you've got a new wave sound from the 80s. What groups have influenced you?
Let me think. Well,
It's a huge list.
there's a huge list for sure.
Well, most of the groups actually that I can think of that you mentioned before as being influences on you, like New Order.
Robin.
Okay, now that's actually Joy Division later.
Yep.
Okay, now what influences you about them? Like, what do you like about them?
New Order or Joy Division?
Both.
The bass, drums, vocals, guitar, everything.
That's like one of your favorite groups.
Favorite.
Is it?
Always since for maybe 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then other groups that you mentioned are like Death Blow.
Oh no, Cool Modi,
Okay.
and I can see the list. Vicious Pink.
Vicious Pink and Animal Bodies. That's a Vancouver group,
That's a
right?
Vancouver group. Yeah. Well, I wanted to include that because they're really good, like local band happening right now, and so thought it would be good to talk about some of our contemporaries.
Now, Modern English, that was a group you opened for at one point?
Yes.
And why do you like them?
Well, when I started-
I started drumming actually when I heard their record. It really influenced me a lot actually. So yeah, it's one of my favorite bands actually.
Well, when I first saw you at Neptune Records, which was the first time, I was standing there with a friend of mine, and inadvertently, I didn't know it at the time, but your mother, Sally's mother, was standing beside me. So I'm going, that drummer is a killer! That drummer is fantastic! So I'm raving away. And I noticed this woman looking over at me. She didn't say anything, but I noticed her looking over at me. And so when it was over, she turns to me and says, "Oh, you really like this group?" I said, "Yeah." So she says, "Oh, I'm the mother of the keyboard player." I said, "Oh, really?" And I said, "Well, why do you?" She says, "Well, why do you like the group?" I said, "Well, they're so cohesive. They've got a new wave sound, but yet they've brought it into the new millennium. They've kind of upgraded the new wave sound, and each member of the group is so good at what they do. You know, like Vanessa has a real growling bass and kind of just growls along. And I like the little dance steps you do when you play.
she's gonna release a video soon.
It kind of
that,
adds to it.
Go work out
And,
video.
and then
to
the
do.
drumming, it has this galloping, loping quality that I really like. It's fabulous. And Sally, you got this kind of ethereal, otherworldly keyboard style that I also really like. And it's a real cohesive gel. It really works as a piece. So this you have out now. This is your first final release, which is which is actually an EP, and it's called Superficial Artificial.